Uy, Isa! Nakita mo na ba yung bagong launch ng pineapple laptop?
Hindi pa, patingin nga. Wow, ang ganda niya na. I really have to buy that one. But wait, what? $2,000 for that?
I know.
Ayokong mahal.
Check mo na lang sa ibang reseller. I'm sure may mas cheap pa.
Ito. This is way cheaper, right? Pwede na. Teka, isn't it too much for a single transaction? I might get scammed. Remember, for every transaction, only give out the necessary personal information. Isang paalala mula sa National Privacy Commission.
Talaga? Let me check. Grant access to my location? Okay. Pati email address? Remember, be careful in downloading and granting permission to mobile applications, lalo na sa location mo. Isang paalala mula sa National Privacy Commission.
Can you do a research on this? I need it by the end of the day.
Okay, boss. So where should I start? Remember, only visit safe and trustworthy websites when searching online.
Isang paalala mula sa National Privacy Commission.
Grabe. Pagod na naman sa trabaho. Ha? Uy! Ngayon nga pala yun. Nasaan na cellphone ko? Ito. Flaming Thrones? Latest episode. Ba't ganun? Ang dami naman play button ito. Ha? Tandaan, beware of sites that could lead you to malware. Isang paalala mula sa National Privacy Commission.
Hay! Anong oras na? Di pa rin ako tapos. Break nga muna. Uy! May shotstagram pala si Crush. Pakagawa nga ng account para ma-follow siya. Huh? Ano kaya? Gayahin ko na lang yung password ko sa Facebook. Tandaan, never use the same password on multiple accounts. Isang paalala mula sa National Privacy Commission.
The use of internet-based services has often been about enjoying new possibilities, convenience, and life-enriching services. As such, we have overlooked the dangers that online carelessness may have on our privacy.
Sound check. Okay, so good morning. Sound check. Okay, so everyone, good morning, no? So, welcome again sa atong third day of our training of trainers on data-driven governance. So, please wait, no, while we wait for Sami. So Sir Sami is already here, no? So by the way, ma'am and sirs, no, sa mga nag-a-ask po ng presentation ni Sir Sami for the 3 days, no? So Sir Sami have sent his presentations and send it to you, to our participants na nakapag-register, no? And of course, makapag-fill up ng evaluation form later po after ng presentation ni Sir Sami or before after ng closing natin. So, ito, no, let's start our third session or last session for our 3-day ToT. So, let us start our program with a followed by the Philippine National Anthem.
Let us pray. Lord Jesus, as we enter this training hall, we bring your presence with us. We speak your peace, your grace, and your perfect order into the atmosphere of the session room. We acknowledge your lordship over all that will be spoken, thought, decided, and accomplished within these walls. Lord Jesus, we thank you for the gifts you have given to each one of us. We do not take them lightly, but commit in using them responsibly and well. Give us a fresh supply of truth and beauty to which we draw our strength in doing our job. Anoint our creativity, our ideas, and our energy so that even our smallest tasks may bring you honor. Lord, when we're confused, guide us. When we're worried, energize us. Lord, when we're burnt out, infuse us with the light of your Holy Spirit. May the work that we do and the way that we do bring hope, life, and courage to all that we come into contact with. And Lord, even in these days, most stressful moments, may we rest in you. In your strong and powerful name we pray. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang mag-ibig, teras ng sinakanan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Upang hinirang, kuya ka ng mag-ibig, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nagatak tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong pagaw, ay hinatang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nagtitindig, makituwin at araw niya kailan pa may di magtitindig. Lumalang araw ng walhaging pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang higaya ng karnay mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Hey, so good morning everyone again, no? So okay, so again, welcome sa aton ToT, no? For data governance. Okay, so again, no, sa mga bagong pasok na po sa Google Meet natin, no, na link, we will be sending or we will be emailing all the modules in PDF format from Sir Sammy Militantes presentations, no. So please wait lang, no. I will be sending it to you this module. By the way, ma'am and sirs, no, before we continue sa discussion ni Sir Sammy, after ng discussion ni later ni Sir Sammy, I will be giving you again an evaluation. So, nyo na yun later on, and that will be the end of our 3-day training, no, for the ToT on data-driven governance. So sige, para makapag-start na ng ating discussion with Sir Sammy, no? So again, Sir Sammy, good morning, and ang bilis na, no? Third day na po ng ating ToT. So Sir Sammy, take it away.
Sir, good morning, Sir Gariel. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
To the participants, good morning. So this is our last day, no, of training on trainers, no, on data-driven governance. So siguro gamay na naman ni nga slides, no. Siguro hindi man ni ka labot 12 o'clock matapos naman ni ang aton na discussion, no? So siguro by 11 or 11:30 so matapos na. So I'm going to share, no, my screen. So wait lang. So what I'm going to share in makita nyo ang screen ko, no. So ang sinishare ko ngayon is the content, no, of the data management book, no, of knowledge, or the Dhamma book. So this will be your reference later on when you create your own policies regarding with what you learn, no, in the data-driven governance. So I'm going to show to you some chapter of the book, no. So kahapon I just show you, no, some example chapter. So today, no, so I'm going to share to you the content, no, of the chapter, no. So it related to the data security. So anyway, this book, no, kasi pag i-download mo to sa internet, no, so isi-search mo to sa Google, no, so it requires you to pay, no, so merong bayad. So this so this book, no, so naka-download ako, so it is also included in my presentation, no, doon sa PDF na isi-share ni Sir Gariel. So this is the content, no, one of the chapter. It is on the data security. So in the chapter, so it discusses, no, the introduction about the data security. So let me read, no, to you the introduction. Data security includes the planning, development, and execution of security policies and procedures to provide proper authentication, authorization, access, and auditing of data and information assets. The specifics of data security, which data needs to be protected, no, for example, differ between industries and countries. Nevertheless, the goal of data security practices is the same. So to protect information assets in alignment with privacy and confidentiality regulations, contractual agreements, and business requirements. So these requirements come from, so ito na yung mga requirements natin. So one is from the stakeholders. So organization must recognize the privacy and confidentiality needs of their stakeholders, no, including the clients, the patients, students, citizens, suppliers, or business partners. So everyone in an organization must be responsible trustee of data about stakeholders. So another is the government regulations. So government regulations are in place to protect the interest of some stakeholders. We have proprietary business concerns. Each organization has proprietary data to protect. We have legitimate access needs. So when securing data, organizations must also enable legitimate access. So business process require individuals in certain role be able to access, use, and maintain data. Then also we have the contractual obligations. So contractual and non-disclosure agreement or agreements also influence data security requirements. For example, we have the PCI standard. So it is an agreement among the credit card companies and the individual business enterprise or enterprises demands that certain types of data be protected, no, in defined ways. So example is the mandatory encryption for the customer passwords. So this is the data security. No? So overall data security requirements. No? So for stakeholder concerns, so we have the privacy and confidentiality of clients' information, the trade secrets, business partner activity, and we have mergers and acquisitions. For the government regulations, so the regulations may restrict access to information. It acts to ensure openness and accountability, provisions of subject access rights, and many more. Then legitimate business concerns, so it includes the trade secret, the research and other intellectual properties or IP. We have the knowledge of customer needs, business partner relationships, and impending details. No? Then for the necessary business access needs, so this includes the data security must be appropriate. Data security must not be too onerous to prevent users from doing their jobs. And then Goldilocks principles. No? So these are some sources of data security requirements. So on the next slide, in the next page of the PDF or the next page of data security chapter of the Dama book. So it defines the data security. So you can this serve this page this can serve as your guide when you implement your own policies in your own organization or in the office. So example, so you have the definition for data security. So you define definition or terms. We have the planning, development, and execution of security policies and procedures to provide proper authentication, authorization, access, and auditing of data and information assets. So you also include the goals or the objectives of the data security. So if you plan this data security plan. So for example, one objective is to enable appropriate and prevent inappropriate access to enterprise data sets in your organization. Number two goal is to understand and comply with with all relevant regulations and policies for privacy, protection, and confidentiality. Third is to ensure that the privacy and confidentiality needs of all stakeholders are enforced and audited. So these are examples, no, for the inputs, the activities, and deliverables, no. And the goal, no. So it describes the business drivers, and then we have the techniques, tools, and metrics, no, is our technical drivers. So for the inputs, no, so this includes the business goals and strategy, the business rules and processes. We have the regulatory requirements, enterprise architecture standards, and also, no, enterprise data model. Then what are the activities, no? So given the following inputs, no, so these are the activities. We have to identify relevant data security requirements, no? So it is part of the planning. Define your data security policy, no? That is for you to control, no? So we have this life cycle, no, of the or the process model, no, of the data security. So this includes the planning, control, the development, and the operations. So third activity, so you define the data security standards. Then this is part of development. Fourth activity include the assess, no, current security risk. And then fifth activity, no, based on the inputs, no, given inputs, no, implement controls and procedures. So what would be the deliverables, no, of your data security plan? So these are some, no, identified deliverables. We have the data security architecture, the data security policies, no? We have the data privacy and confidentiality standards, the data security access controls, regulatory compliant data access views. We have documented security classifications, authentication and user access history. We have data security audit reports. So these are the for the inputs, no. So the input, no, could be participated by the suppliers. So this includes the IT steering committee, the enterprise architects, so the government, no, the regulatory bodies. For the participants, so this will be composed of the data stewards, information security team, the internal auditors, and then the process analyst. So part of the activities. And then for the consumers, no, or for the consumers, we have the business users and the regulatory auditors. So these are the identified, no, technical drivers. So this includes the techniques, the tools, and the metrics, no, that will be used in the planning for your data security. So techniques, no, you may include the crude matrix usage, the immediate security patch deployment. We have the data security attributes in metadata. We have security needs in project requirements, and then document sanitation. So for the tools, you may use, no, like access control system. We have the protective software. No? You may opt to use the proprietary or an open source, no, software. Identity management technology. We have the intrusion detection or prevention, no, software. We have the metadata tracking and data masking or encryption. No? So these are some tools that you use, no, on the creation of your policy, no, for the data security. Then for the metrics, we have the security implementation metrics, security awareness metrics. We have the data protection metrics, security incident metrics, confidential data, and proliferation rate, no? So as the basis for your metrics, no? So this is an example of the guide, no? When you create policies in the organization pertaining to the data-driven governance. So you may read, no? So the book, no, explains it all, no? So when pertaining to the data governance, no, or pertaining to the data management. Okay, so anyway, no, so this book is shared, no, to you, no, so along with the slide presentations, no, from day 1, day 2, and day 3. Okay, so we'll proceed with the last topic. No? So I'm going to share the last topic or the last presentation. No? So our last topic is the digital transformation or digital transformative technologies, no, of the data-driven governance. Okay, so do we have the digital transformation? So we define, no, digital transformation. So it is simply the emerging, maturing, and disrupting technologies of Industry 4.0 and network security, driving the innovative reimagination of what are possible in proposing new value creation, in differentiating customer experience, in improving process quality, and in building better competencies. So nowadays, no, since our technology, no, the use of our technology, no, is very visible, no, nowadays. So example of a technology, no, that we are using, no, a very powerful technology is the use of artificial intelligence. No? So when you say artificial intelligence, no, so it is like a human brain, or it simulates or it mimics, no, the human brain, no. So on how to decide or how to think, no, but the thinking way of an artificial intelligence, no, it is based on the inputs that has been gathered, no, outside the environment. No? So these inputs could include the data, no, coming from the sensor, no, or the data or a raw data, no, supplied, no, through forms, no, and that data, no, will be processed by the computer, no. The computer will serve or will act like a human brain, and then so the processed data, no, will be, so once the processed data, no, so the processed data will decide, no, or yes, no, it will decide. So through logic, no, so logic lang, yes or no lang, no? So it depends on the inputs, no, that has been gathered, and then the input has been processed, no, And then once it has been processed, so it will create a model, for itself. And then based on that model, so it can decide, or think. So given the output of the model. So in a technology, based mostly industry 4.0 is the term, that we use in the industry. So we implement the industry 4.0 with the use of the robots, with the use of automation, with the use of the AI, the IoT. Those are the technology that emerged, and contributes to the industry 4.0. So for example, in an industry, so for example is the bottling company. So kauna, hindi pa available ang technology. So in a bottling company, they hire people, in order to sort, or to handle bottles, in a manufacturing company or in an industry. So ginasort, from smallest to biggest, small, medium, large. So ginasort. So they use the people, or the humans, in order to do the job. But nowadays, since available ang technology, so there is now we call the automation, wherein the processing of bottles, in a bottling company is done by automation using the robots, using the embedded systems, or using the artificial intelligence, wherein they feed inputs, and then from the input, the the process, will be, so the process, will be, the inputs will be processed, and then the output is the automation, of the entire system. So Industry 4.0, so it is new technologies that combine the physical, digital, and biological worlds, impacting all disciplines, economies, and industries. So these technologies have great potential to continue to connect billions more people to the web, and drastically, improve the efficiency of business and organization. So with the technology, under the industry 4.0, now with that technology, the machines now can think. They can think, they can communicate. So they communicate using the internet. As long they are connected to the web, they communicate. And then it improves, the efficiency and the quality of the service, or the service, they provide to the people. So nowadays, madasig na. So pabilisan na yung mga output, So pabilisan na yung pag-process ng mga items, ng mga goods, ng mga products natin. So behind that is the automation, of the industry, So using the industry 4.0. So we live in a network society. So the term exists, is determined by wireless connectivity, common platform, standard process. We have the agile organization. We have the mobile access, shared data, social application, artificial intelligence, robots, automation, and cybersecurity of digital technology. So the social structures or social structure, no, individuals and groups are organized around digital informative networks. No? So this is an example of digitalization, no? Wherein using your cell phone, no? Your phone, no? So you can connect, you can communicate, no? You can network, no? As long that it is connected, no, in an internet. So our cell phone nowadays is very informative, no? So you can watch news in local, in an national and international level, no? So information nowadays is very important, no? So the current events, no, the real-time events is now can be, can be broadcast or can be communicated, no, within the palm of your hands, no, using the cell phone. So connectivity or the internet connectivity is one major factor, no, in the digital or the digital world. So another, no, when you access or when you check, no, for emails, no, so email, social media, no, when you check the weather for today, no, so it can forecast the 7 day or a month, no, forecasting of weather. You can check or you can chat, no, so you can have or you can do video call. So anywhere in the world, no, you can report, no. So even that you are not in your work area or in your workplace, no, as long that you have the internet connectivity, no, so using your cell phone. No. So digitalization is the use of digital technologies to change a business model and provide new revenue and value producing opportunities. No? So that is according to Gartner. So it is using digital data to simplify how leadership, management, and workforce perform their results. No? So that is according to Salesforce. So we have service delivery platform, no, to create, gather, store, no, share, analyze, report, and transfer digital data from anyone, no, any system, any device, and any place. So these are the digital transformative technologies, no, behind the digitalization. So we have the artificial intelligence, no, that contributes to the you have the artificial intelligence, no, as one of the important technology, no, that contributes to the IoT, the cybersecurity, big data, the cloud computing, and the automation. So example of digitalization nowadays, no, is the online store. So sang una, no, noon, when you buy goods, no, when you buy for an item, yeah, you go to the department store, no, to buy your new pants, no, to buy your appliances, to buy your groceries, no. But since, no, there is an existing technology, nowadays, instead of going to the supermarket or going to the malls, no, you can buy your groceries, no? You can buy your food, you can buy new things, no? The appliances, no? Using online, through online. So like Lazada, no? Like the Shopee, the Zalora, no? So when you buy appliances, you buy things, no? Any things, no? You can now buy it through online. And then no, since this technology is now very popular or trending, no? So almost all, no, people nowadays are shopping through online. So any service nowadays, no, can be done, no, through online. No? So there are so many services, no, that offers, no, the service through online. Another example of a service is when you pay for payment, no, bill payments. So instead of going to the store, no, in order to pay your bills, you go to the physical store. Nowadays, there is an option that you can pay your bills through online, so like money transfer, or you can pay, no, your bills through kiosk machines that are available in the area. So those are some, no, example of digitalization. Also, no, when we apply, no, for example, when we apply for business permit, no, so there is an existing technology nowadays that instead of going to the to the municipal for applying, no, for the business permit, so you can do it through online. So, or you can do it through through application, no, in your cell phones, no. So in banking transactions, no, you can now download applications, no, through Google Store, through iOS Store, no. You download the app, no, and then you register, then you can do transactions, no, so using your cell phone. So that is part of digitalization. Even the news nowadays, or even the TV, no, the TV so ang mga TV, no, mga TV shows, no, so they are now available, no, in the online platforms like YouTube, no? Some TV stations, no, they have the app, no, that you can use, that you can download, and then using their app, no, you can watch movies, you can watch their shows, no, the television shows, no, so real time. So because of this digital age, no, or the digitalization. So next slide, we have the enterprise architecture content of digital transformative information system strategic plan, or ISSP. So sa mga organization like sa mga government, so mga government offices or sa mga government agencies, no, every 3 years, no, we are required. I know, no, sa mga hospital, sa government hospitals, no, sa mga agencies, no, yung may mga IT na infrastructure or may IT personnel, no, alam nila yan na every 3 years or every 5 years, no, so you need to submit an information system strategic plan, no, or ISSP, no. So these are the architecture, no, that can serve, no, as guidance, no, when you design your own ISSP. So these are number one. So we have the mandates, which includes the policy, the rules, and the regulations. The stakeholders, no? So this includes the clientele, the customer, the suppliers. These are included, no, in the ISSP plan, no, when you develop your own plan. Number 2 is the principles and standards. Then 3 is the governance and the policy. No? So that is included in the plan. We have function and process. No? So what are the functions? What are the roles? What are the responsibilities of the persons involved, no? In the information system? What are the process, no, that needs to be developed, no? Or what are the process that is need to be converted into a system? Next is the data and the application. So data, what are the application is the system or the program, no, that will be developed, no, in order to help the office or the organization, no, is their transaction or mapabilis yung transaction or magiging efficient yung transaction. No? Then 6 is the infrastructure. So ano yung kailangan? Ano yung mga IT infrastructure na kailangan? Kailangan ba na igagawin na structured network yung office o yung organization? Kailangan ba na nakakonect ba lahat sa internet, no? Or kung merong system, no? So dapat nakakonect lahat sa system or only specific person or with roles identified, no? Yun lang yung makakonect sa system. Ano yung technology na gagamitin, no? So wireless technology ba gagamitin or wired technology ba yung gagamitin? No? So ano yung kailangan ba na mayroong mga server, no? Kailangan ba na mayroong data center? So, ano yung mga processes na kailangan na i-in-house, no, sa office or sa server room or sa data center, no? So, sino yung magmamanage? No? Then, number 7 is security and privacy, no? So, how are you going to secure your data? So, sino yung responsible person, no, para sa security? So, also sa ISSP plan, no, included yung mga cameras, no, that will be installed as part of the security, no, ng organization or ng office. Kahit na yung biometric machine, no? So when a clientele or when a stakeholder or when an employee or staff, no, enters the premises of the organization or the office, no, so kailangan niya mag-login, no? So through biometric system, no, as part of the attendance system, no, ng opisina, no? So included, no, include, no, doon sa ISSP. So, in order, no, to also to comply and also for the quality of service na ino-offer ng organization or ng office. So, these are the digital transformation enterprise architecture. So starting with the mandate, vision, and goals, no, of the organization and or the institution or the office. No? So this includes the legal basis. No? So in every mandate of an organization, there is a legal basis. No? There is an executive order that justifies, no, the mandate of that agency or that institution or organization. So this is also include the business strategy, the ICT strategy, no? Next, we have the strategic level, no? Tactical level, operational level, no? Interest groups and customers, no? So, part of the mandates, vision, and goals of the organization. Next is the process and policies. No? We have the functional organization. So we have the functions and process flow. No? So when you design the process, no, the process flow of your organization, no? So these are included. So the functional organization. No? So example of this is the organizational structure, the overall organizational structure of the organization, or in your office. No? So you have the organization structure of the office. Next is the functions or roles of the persons behind your organization, the process flow of your system. No? So every transactions that or every service, no, the office or the organization serve, no, so it should have a process flow. No? So example of a process flow is common is the citizens charter, no? in a government office, no. So yan yung example, no. So citizens charter, diyan mo malalaman, no, for a particular transaction, ilang oras, ano yung magiging steps, no, ano yung magiging process flow, no, when you do that transaction. Then we have policies and business rules. We have roles and authority, and then the performance metrics. So you must measure, no, your process, no. You must measure the policies, no. So sinusunod ba yung policies, or or how efficient ba yung process ng organization? So it should be measured. No? And then you report. No? So there is a documentation, there is a proper reporting, no, in order to assess the performance matrix, no, of the organization. Next is data, no, and application. So this includes the data elements and standards, the application system. So kung mayroon tayong ginagamit na system, no, we have the use case, the entity relationship diagram. No? So this is on the data and the application development. No? Data flow diagram, we have the interoperability standards, so the security reference models, and the application platforms, no? That is available in the organization. No? Next is the technology and network. So these are some to be considered, no, in the architecture. We have the access and connectivity infrastructure. So dapat in place, no, yung connectivity. So yung connectivity mo ba is through Wi-Fi, no, or through wireless, or yung connectivity ba is by using the wired. No? So pag wireless, so sino yung maka-access? Pag wired, no, sino yung may maka-access, no? So in designing in an infrastructure, so you also consider that kung gumagamit ka ng process or gumagamit ka ng system, so all the computers, no, that uses that application software or system, no, should be connected in a wired, no, network. And then for your clientele, no, so yung mga users, no, so, or mga customers mo, so pwede na through wireless network sila, no, or through Wi-Fi yung infra nila. We have network management. So how are you going to manage your network? So it should also support with the policies, no, and guidelines, no. So in order to manage your network. So the internet services, no? So the database system, since you have the application system, no? So you must also have the database system, and then you have the design, no? The infrastructure of your application system, no? So including the internet, the network, no? The connectivity, no? So they should be in place. No? We have communication standards, no, that you are going to use, no, in your infrastructure, the level of security or the security system. So, who are the responsible persons? So, is it that the system should have an auditing? Or is it that the system, no? When a customer or a stakeholder uses your system, should it have a tracking or uh, or or kung yung system mo is through online, no? So ano yung magiging design, no, ng web service mo, yung web development mo. And then we have service level agreements, no? So these are the overall, no, digital transformation enterprise architecture, no? So this will be considered, no, in the data governance, no, of your organization. So the targeted results of digitalization. So one is data creates new value, market and enabler. And then we have the end-to-end customer experience, no? So how it will satisfy your customer, no, with the service, no, that you offer. Then third is the agile organization or flexible customer focused service management. So yung service ba na ino-offer mo, digital service na ino-offer, no? So it can be maka-adapt ba sa needs, no, or nagko-comply ba siya sa needs ng customer or ng stakeholders? Then we have shareability of process, data, and application and infrastructure as a service. So, shareability of process, no? So, yung pinaka ano dyan is availability ng process mo through cloud, no? Through internet, no? So, yung mga data na pinaprocess, no? So, or yung sa infrastructure, no? So, as your service, no? So, example, CCTV cameras that is connected in the Internet of Things, no? The CCTV cameras communicate, no? So, who is the responsible person who can have the access to the camera? Is the camera, no, available to the one, no, or two persons, no, involved with the security, or the access, no, of security camera, no, is only located or situated in one particular area only, or it can be accessed, no, to cell phones with the responsible person, no? So as for sharing, no, or communicating with the data or with the application. So this is now the overall picture, no, of our digitalization. So we have the users, no, using the application service, and then the application service, no, is stored, or the application, no, is digitally available, no, or it uses the cloud service. So the user, no, also uses different kinds of platform, no? So a platform that uses the laptop or computer, or a platform that uses a kiosk or platform, no, using a tablet or your phone, no? So messaging services, no? So what would be the services that your system, no, adopts, no? It can be through messenger, through email, or through text messaging, then how the service will be stored. So the storage of the service can be stored in cloud or through internet, through hosting, or is it the storage of your application could be stored in-house or in the office or in the organization. So the data required is provided through internet, broadband technology. So nowadays, kailangan natin yung mabilisan. So mas mabilis na internet, so mas mabilis na transaction or mas mabilis na pagproseso ng ating transaction. So the data could also be the data is available also in the device or the use of Internet of Things. So it's just the data, the system that captures the data or collected the data can be analyzed, so can be analyzed immediately, or there is a service that the data gathered from the Internet of Things, the data that gathered from the user, to the user access, is being analyzed using the data analytics. So behind that are the cloud technology. So the big part is the data and intelligence. So under the data intelligence, we have the big data and analytics, or the data analytics. We have the artificial intelligence. We have the machine learning. So when you say machine learnings, the machine learns from the outside environment. So once the machine learns from the outside environment, it can interpret decision, or it can interpret the process. So with the use of logic, we have bots or robots. This example of a robot. So they are now integrated in our machines, like our cell phones or like in our laptop. Also, the robots are also integrated in the systems. The customer service of a business. So instead of using the human or the persons as the manpower, so they opt to use the robots, in which the robot is more efficient, and mabilisan. So mabilis yung pag-response or pag-react ng robot sa mga needs or sa mga queries ng mga customer o ng mga clientele. So when we say another is the smart app dev, so this includes the mobile social apps. So marami na ngayon yung mga mobile social apps na available, like the Facebook, like the Instagram. We have the low code, we have the DevOps. So may mga services na ngayon, halos lahat through web. Then we have cybersecurity technology. So we need also to protect our data, prevent an unauthorized person from altering our data, doing some bad things. So we need to protect our infrastructure, and along with it, our data. So what are the cybersecurity technology behind that? It's the firewall. So you need to have a firewall in your IT infrastructure in order to prevent unauthorized person, to prevent malicious software from attacking your infrastructure or your system. We have content filtering. So when you say content filtering, so it only allows or it only filters what applications that will be used or so that will be used or that will be communicated or that will be entered in your system. So for example, yung mga executable na mga files, no? So hindi yan makapasok sa system or sa infra natin. It is like in an email, no, service wherein pinifilter niya yung mga addresses, yung mga content, no, ng email, no. So hindi niya binubuksan, or before niya ibubuksan, dadaan muna siya sa sa scanning, no. And then pag malicious, no, so nag-i-inform siya sa user na merong malicious na content, no. So that is how, no, the content filtering works. We have the encryption method. So encryption method is when you log in for the account in Facebook, no, when you enter the username and then you enter the password. So the password is encrypted, no? So instead na makita mo yung characters, no? So yung makikita mo lang is the asterisk, no? Kasi pinoprotectionan niya, no, yung data, no? Especially yung login details, no? So that is encryption. The same way with the transactions, no, through online payment, no, wherein, no, merong encryption technology na ginagamit, no. So when you pay for online transactions like in the Lazada or sa Lora, no, o the e-commerce na mga applications, no. So when you input the details about your card, no, that you are using in doing online transaction, no, so ini-encrypt yan. So meron yang encryption, no, na yung details mo will be converted into special characters, no. So using algorithms, no, o ng mga methodology in order to protect, no, your data. So we have data vault, no. So parang database lang yan, no. We have the access control. So in an organization, so there is a level of access control, no? So level 1 na password, level 2 na user or password, level 3 na user or password, no? So pag level 1 is the administrator, level 2 is the next next in line, no? And then the third level is the user, no, for example. So the organization can control, no, who or what persons, no, or what responsible persons can access, no, the infrastructure or the system. We have intrusion detection. So sa mga antivirus software, no, so kahit na yung firewall, it has an intrusion detection, no? So it can detect malicious software. It can detect unauthorized personnel, no, from entering the system. We have the threat intelligence, no, so it can predict, no, it can report, no, what are the threat, no, which is coming in the system or in the network. So we have security information and then event management. So we have the tracking, no, or auditing, no, the login details or log trails, no, o sino ba yung gumagamit ng system, sino yung nag-enter, sino yung user na nag-enter, kailan siya nag-log out, kailan siya nag-log in, no, ano yung mga transactions na ginawa niya, no, so malalag niya, no. So merong trail, no, ng process, no, or every process, no. So using this event management system. So we have distributed ledger. So this is example is the blockchain. Then we have the sensors. So we have examples, quick response code. So example of a quick response code is the QR code, no? So uso na ngayon yung QR code even na sa pagtatrack ng mga persons, no? Lalo na ngayon na mayroong pandemic, no? So we use this technology, so the QR code, no? So when the phone, no, captures the code, no, automatically it will log you to a website, or it will i-record niya yung details, no, kung anong oras, kailan, sino yung ano, no. So that is an example of the QR code, no. So yan yung technology na ngayon na ginagamit. We have the high resolution sensor, industrial sensor, no? Health sensor, using drones, no? We have biometric sensors, no? So sa login ng attendance, no? When you enter the office, kailangan mo mag-login instead of writing it down, no, in DTR. So using the biometric or using the keys, no, or pins, no? So those are some example of the sensors. Uso naman ngayon yung facial recognition. So meron namang iris na sensor, no, in order to identify, no? So sa mga airports or sa mga public places, no, in order to monitor or to conduct surveillance to the persons, no? So ginagamit yung facial recognition, no? So dito sa Pilipinas, sa Manila, we use the apprehended, no, non-contact apprehension, no, sa traffic violations, no, especially sa EDSA. So using the CCTV camera, no, so the system can analyze, no, kung may violation ba yung sasakyan. Pag mayroong violation, so automatic it will capture the plate number of the car or that vehicle, and then ilalag niya yung anong violation, and then it will send, no, the data or the ticket, no, to the traffic enforcer or to the LTO. So when a car, no, or when a car, no, or the owner of the car, no, make transactions with the LTO, no? So once the LTO will do checking, no, on the records or the violations, no. So since the violation is communicated to the database of the LTO, no, so automatic magpe-play siya ng violation. So yan yung how it works, no. And then the use of sensors, it can analyze the traffic situations. It can inform, no? So using Waze app, no? So you have the real-time traffic situation, no? So in order for the driver, no, to have a real scenario of the traffic situation on the roads, no, na ginagamit niya, no? Or kung saan siya papunta. So this is the overall picture, no, of our digitalization. So digital transformation canvas, no? So for the value creation, so this includes the identification, the registration, claims, request, provide, complaint, no, response, monitor, and then report, no? So as for the customer experience, no, so we have the available, we have the immediate, we have the accessible, accurate, complete, inclusive, privacy. So for the process data application, so example, we have the personal or medical records or financial records, education, tax, purchase records or benefits, no? So this is the digital record, no, of an individual. So it is used for data collection. This is used for storage, and then this is used for disposal. Next, we have the digital transformation project. So one is digitalization of operation. So it is where operational performance on effectiveness, efficiency, and security is converted into digital format and delivered and supported in a digital platform of continual process improvement. So the operational backbone of the business is digitalized. So ito na yung ginagawa halos ng mga company, no? So multinational or international company, no? So their business is being digitized, no? All of their operations are being digitalized. We have digital service development. So it is where the business is developing new product and services with emerging and disruptive digital technologies. So new business portfolio is designed and built around digital transformative technologies of what are possible to create new value and to delight the customer. So digital transformation transformation project, no? So it requires understanding, agreement, commitment of leadership and management to initiate digital transformation project, no? So these are principles, no, behind that. One is reason for doing or intention. Two is rule of the game or principles. Third is service architecture or the design. Then fourth is the committed resource or enabler. So these are the legal or legalities, no? Or legal context of digital transformation project. So this includes the national digital strategy, the ease of doing business, the security and privacy, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, no? So what are the legalities? So we have the RA 10844 for digital governance, no? So digital governance includes the ISSP plan, no? So the Information System Strategic Plan, the Digital Philippines, and the National Cybersecurity Plan. Another legalities is the RA 11032, so ease of doing business, so like re-engineering of system, 3 days simple process, 7 days complex process. We have 20 days technical process and automation of services. Also, we have bases, no, for the EO using the EO 605, no, dash 2007 or the quality management system, no? So this is used for the ISO 90001 certifications. Then we have the Data Privacy Act or the RA 10173. So we have the data processing, which includes the system registration, the privacy impact assessment, the privacy management program. So these are the data-driven approach, no, to the governance. No? So data-driven governance, no, if we are going to define it, so it is simply the collection, retention, use, and sharing of digital data from varied and linked data sources to guide policy, option, and action of decision right. So that is the overall term, no, or definition of our data-driven governance. So for the data-driven approach, no, so we have the evidence-based exercise of decision rights. So it is a data-enabled authority and influence that affect understanding, choice, and work, no, of the accountability and responsibility to deliver and support mandated outcomes. Okay, so we have here, the data-driven approach using the evidence-based exercise of decision rights. So from the structured or unstructured data, going to the transactional data or operation data, and then going to the data silos or data lakes for storage. So this is the overall concept of our data-driven approach. So data visualization, to data storage, to data mining, to data analytics. And for data sharing, so it leads to the evidence-based exercise of decision rights. Okay, so next is the picture of the transformative technology for data-driven governance. So this includes, this is now the overall picture of transformative or using the technology for a data-driven governance. So we have the manipulation of unstructured data, the low-code development platform. We have the data analytics and artificial intelligence. We have the collection of sensor or data sensors and data store. We have the real-time data share. We have the use of mobile application. We have the unified communication. So communication, we have the laptop communicated with the cell phones and the telephones through internet. We have the information security. So these are the next is the technologies behind the implementation of our data approach. So every technology, has its own function. So like the cloud technology, so these are what are the features of the cloud technology. So we have infrastructure, the service they offer, the storage, the application. So example of a cloud technology, we have the Azure, or we have the Amazon, AWS. So for data integration, so the feature of data integration is to extract, transform data, and then load data. So the technologies behind that is the Pentaho. We have the Talent. Then data analytics, so collection of data, manipulation of data. We have the data visualization. So the technology behind that is the W and the Sisense. Next is for big data. So features of the big data is data aggregation, the storage of your data, then intelligence, data intelligence. So some of the technology behind this big data is the NoSQL, the Hadoop. For security privacy, so features of it is to identify or protect, detect or response, recover or investigate. So technology behind that is the OSIM or the SNORT. And then for DevOps, so feature of DevOps is to build, automate, and then deliver. So we have development of application. So some of the technology behind is the Cradle and Git. So for big data, so the necessary work for the talk, so we have virtualize, store, and analyze. So sa virtualization, so we use the VMware Are you familiar with the VMware? No? So it is used for virtualization. Informatica. So for storage, so the database. So we have the NoSQL. We have the Apache HBase. No? So sa mga IT professionals, they are familiar with these products, no? Or the technology, no? Na gina-offer. So sa mine, so data mining, so the technology, we have the rapid miner. No? Then for the analyzation or to analyze our data, so the common language, no, is the Science. We have the R programming. You can also include this one, the Python programming, in order to analyze your data. So these are the tools, no? Work tools for cloud, IoT.
Tried actually this 3-day training on data-driven governance.
Hello.
The ICT Literacy Competency Development
Hello, sir.
Bureau, or ILCDB Western Visayas team, in
Hello, sir.
coordination with
Okay,
the
so
ICT
continue ko lang,
Central
sir.
Office,
Madali na lang.
ILCDB, the ICT Academy,
So we
have
have
been
the work
conducting
tools
ICT.
for cloud. So Internet of Things. We have the big data. We have the AI, cybersecurity, low code. We have the bots or robots, no? The chatbots. So these are the technology behind those ano. So these are the work tools, no? So we have the Apache Hadoop, we have the Python, we have the Django, no? We have the W, we have for the elemental to big data, we have Kubol, Laravel. No? So Laravel is for the IoT, no? NetTrust, no? Using the CloudGuard, uh, SolidWall, no? Tyson, CyberArk, Pelta, no? Code. We have the SolarWinds. We have this TensorFlow, no? Version 2.0 for the AI. We have IoT, Eclipse.org. We have the Connie, no? Alert Logic, Armor, Answer Duck, Out Systems. No? So these are the work tools, no? For cloud, IoT, big data, no? Artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, low code, no? Bots, even the machine learning and also the deep learning, no? Computer visions. No? So these are the tools, no? That are used, no? In order to develop those systems. So next is the cloud computing standards. So for cloud computing standard, part one is the market terminology. The standard is the ISO IEC DIS, no, 22123-1. For cloud computing, the part two, no, which is the concepts. So the standards, no, is the use of standard is the ISO IEC CD 212123, no, dash 2.2. We have the cloud computing, so cloud services and devices, no? The data flow, the data categories, and data use. No? Part one is the fundamentals. So these are the standard ISO IEC 19944-1. Next is the cloud computing guidance for policy development. So this is the standard ISO / IEC, TR 22673 of 2019. We have cloud computing service level agreement or SLA framework. So part one is the overview and concepts. So these are the bases. ISO IEC 19086-1 series of 2016. We have security techniques, information security for supplier relationships. Part 4 is the guidelines for security of cloud services. We have the ISO IEC 27036-4 series of 2016. Okay, so Continue ko na lang, sir, no? Since malapit na lang. Malapit
Yes,
na
sir. Oh.
matapos. Next is the
10 minutes.
digital transformation competency. So these are the competencies, no? Especially in the IT specialization, no? In the IT field or the IT area. So analyst, no? Database, programming, network, security, QA tester, hardware, creative arts, no? So these are the products behind that, no? So as analyst, we have the IDA for database, no? You can use the Python or for the programming, so you can have the Java or you can also have the Python, no? For the network, so network and security, so you have the Cisco, no? Or you have the CompTIA. So quality assurance tester, so you can use the AC Council. Hardware, no? We have the ISTQB. We have creative artists using the Adobe products. So for the project management, so this is the, we have the ISO or the International Standards Organization. We have the Scrum Alliance for the service management, ITIL. We have the architecture management. We have the ISACA, no, ISACA. Infrastructure management, we have the TOGAF, TOGAF. So for security management, so we can have the SANS. Then data privacy management, so we have the IAP. So those are the technology behind those. So cloud computing, so using the Amazon House, AWS, so big data, artificial intelligence, using the Cloudera certified CBIP, business intelligence. We have the Internet of Things, DevOps, cybersecurity. So these are the products behind this this development. So Microsoft certified. So for cybersecurity, for DevOps, Internet of Things. So halos naman lahat yan na cater nila. So also the Clouderas are certified. So using the Amazon AWS, so lahat yan nakikater nila. So when you learn, digital learning of transformative technologies, so these are the companies behind that. So you have Udemy. So if you want to have a knowledge, or explore the knowledge in the AI, artificial intelligence, so you can enroll to the Udemy, so you will pay for the, the duration of the training, of a certain topics. You have Edurica or Simply Learn. So you want to explore new knowledge, so behind those transformative technologies, so ito sila. Okay, so that ends my presentation. So baka mayroong questions regarding sa data-driven governance, from day 1 up to day 3 na topic natin.
Yes, ma'am and sirs, no? So, before tayo mag-close, syempre baka meron po kayong hahabol na questions. Now, the great opportunity, no, para makapag-ask kayo ng questions kay Sir Sammy. So, please don't hesitate to unmute your mic or you can chat it on box, no? Ma'am and sirs, baka may mga questions kayo. Okay, so yun sir, no, yung iba nag-i-email ka din sa sabi na naghihingi sila ng presentation mo. So yun, ma'am and sirs, Sa mga nag-email sa akin, we'll be sending that later before noontime or sa afternoon siguro. So again, ma'am and sirs, any questions? So for sure, so sa amin, no, siguro take time sila mag-reread siguro ng ng modules mo. And of course, I will be sending also the recorded sessions natin. Every nagsisession ikaw, Sir Sammy, nila-live ko sa YouTube. So overall, 3 sessions na ang nasa YouTube. So I will be sending those links fill up ng evaluation form later. So, any questions, ma'am and sirs? So far, parang wala naman, sir, sa amin, no? Assuming clear sa kanila. So, kung may questions kayo later on, just email or you can email me so that I can channel those questions to Sir Sammy, no? So, sige. So, sige, Sir Sammy, I will be sharing my screen, no? For a moment.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay, for a moment, sir. Okay. So, syempre, sir, no? Expertise. We are happy to give you this certificate of appreciation. So, siguro, sir, makita ninyo yung sa screen, no? Sir Tammy. So, yes, sir. So, certificate of appreciation, no? So, Republic of the Philippines, Department of Information and Communications Technology. This certificate of appreciation is given to Sir Sammy V. Militante in grateful recognition of his invaluable support as resource person during the webinar entitled Training of Trainers facilitated by the DICT's Free Wi-Fi for All Free Public Internet Access program, given on this 11th day of December 2020 at the DICT Western Visayas Regional Office. Digitally signed by P. Conyado, OIC, Office of the Regional Director, DICT Western Visayas Regional Office. So let's give Sir Sammy a round of applause. Okay, so thank you, Sir Sammy. Thank you very much for sharing your time and expertise dito sa ating 3-day webinar. So, okay, so
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Formally closed our 3-day training of trainers, no? So, let us witness the closing remarks of Sir Engineer Elmer T. Prudente, the head of the DICT Western Visayas Regional Office. So, Sir Elmer, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Loud and clear, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Especially to Dr. Sammy. Kita ulit tayo, sir.
Good morning,
Sammy.
sir.
Good morning, sir.
Today will be the closing exercises of your training of trainers. Hopefully this, how many participants? Naka-record na rin 46 na naka-on.
Yes, sir.
So,
umabot tayo ng 60. Mga 60 participants.
Oh, wow. That's very good. Very good. Hopefully this 60 can be tapped later to talk with courses like this, just like Dr. Sammy had been doing. Mabuhay-buhay na ng ano ni Dr. Sammy. Hello. Well, anyway, I know that Dr. Sammy is having this online training in the morning, and then in the afternoon may ara pa gid siya. He's very busy with the ICT. Thank you for the partnership, Dr. Sammy Militante, and to the University of Antique Management for giving you, letting you assist us in our online trainings. And to all the participants, please extend our thanks to all your bosses, your chief local executives, or from schools, kung may ara sa schools, no, sa issues, please extend our thanks that they let you attend this training, no. Hopefully you find this very useful in your works, no. Maybe you can have this in your subordinates, no. Whatever thing that you have learned here, you can cascade this to your subordinates, and hopefully you can also encourage some of your friends, some of your office mates to attend this training, because hindi lang ni amo ang amon nga pag-training sa amo sini, damo pa ang amon nga training. So please encourage your office mates to attend whatever the DICT trainings been doing, no. And once again, thank you sa inyong tanan sa pag-attend sini, sa attend nyo sa tiempo sa pag-attend sa amon nga training ng DICT. And rest assured, whatever the DICT will be receiving from the central office, I mean, kung ano man nga mga trainings, kung ano nga mga dapat namon ipaabot sa inyo, we can immediately cascade it to the local governments, to the SUCs, no? Because we're already partners, no? So without much ado, thank you very much, and congratulations to all the participants for attending this training. Thank you very much, Doc Sammy, to Gariel, our MC, to Maria, our focal person, si Joel, no, Sarah, kag si Schweitzer, who had been doing this and promoting this events, no? Once again, thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you very much, Sir Elmer, no? Let's give a round of applause to to Engineer Elmer B. Prudente and the DICT WRO. So thank you again, Sir Elmer. So amo na to, ma'am and sirs, no? Yun na yun yung ating 3 days na training of trainers. Before tayo mag-close ng ating webinar, so I encourage you, ma'am and sirs, to please open your videos or your webcams so that I can take a screenshot to document our 3-day webinar, no? So please, ma'am and sirs, open your webcams now so that I can take a picture, no? Okay, for a moment. Okay, ma'am and sir, so please open your webcam. Ayun. So, habol pa. Please open your webcams. Okay, final screenshot. Okay, so thank you again our 3-day webinar on data-driven governance. So, ma'am and sirs, I'll be sharing you the link na no ng ating evaluation para sa ating 3 days for a moment, no? And of course, I will be chatting that on our chat box, the link. Okay, for a moment. Okay, so there you go, sirs. So just go to that link and kindly fill up the evaluation form. Okay. So, Sir Sammy, thank you for imparting your time and sharing your expertise to us. Rest assured na we'll be tapping to your expertise more later on, no? Especially next year. So, virtually and of course face-to-face bale. So, salamat everyone sa pag-attend. And again, please see the link on our chat box evaluation form. And take note naman, sirs, no? I will send you the presentation of Sir Sammy later before lunchtime, no? Para maging reference niyo sa mga topics niya and modules. So, salamat everyone. God bless and keep safe. Okay, so Ma'am Sarah May T asked about the certificate, no? So we will be sending that at about 10 working days, no? Or even next week, masasend na po namin yung certificates niyo po. We'll be checking your attendance before, no? And of course, this evaluation form. So please wait, no? Next week, we'll be sending your certificates. So again, salamat po everyone. Oh, hindi pa ma-open yung link. So, double check na. So, yan, yung evaluation form na po yung magsaserve as for today's webinar. Thank you po. So, paki-check po, double check yung link po, gumagana po siya. So, paki-try po ulit. To Miss Aline Adukal, yes po. So, I can send to you the link later on, Ma'am Aline. No? So, I'll double check if may nakapag-comply na po sa evaluation. Yes, submit na. So, again, thank you everyone. And keep safe and God bless you all.